All right, the Cleveland Cavaliers defeat the Milwaukee Bucks 116-114 without Giannis Antetokounmpo. Love how it rolls off the tongue now. Didn't know how to say it when I first came across his name, but now I know how to say it. Don't know how to spell it. Does it make it less impressive, though, for the Cavs? I think it was a very, very good victory for the Cavs, who continue to impress every single NBA fan, including myself. Before I kick it to you, Kwab, I just want to give my shout-outs to Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's somebody who I wouldn't say I thought was overrated, but was somebody where I just didn't see the hype, mainly because they're like, this guy's a mixture of Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, which is like an absurd thing to say about somebody. Like, you're already like setting this guy up to fail, right? It's like, you can't possibly live up to those expectations. It's almost impossible to do that. So he came into this league with high expectations from some people, not everybody. And this year he's turned the corner under Kenny Atkinson. There was a play where he blocked the layup with his left hand, got the rebound, dribbled the court by himself, and dunked it with his left hand. Granted, it was over AJ Green. It was just still like really freaking impressive. At the end of the game, he gets switched on to Damian Lillard, gets a stop. He gets put on Bobby Portis, who was killing them in the second half. He shuts him down. I mean, the whole Cavs just in general, huge team effort. All the Bucks really had at the end of the game was give the ball to Damian Lillard, and Kenny Atkinson just kind of put on a clinic, trapping Dame, forcing a backcourt violation, putting Okoro on him. Okoro not switching when they tried to get Garland onto Dame, forcing that bad shot that pretty much sealed the game. Darius Garland going shot for shot with Dame, even though he missed a couple corner threes, still getting into the paint and hitting shots, making things happen, and hitting a big-time three. The Cavs did get lazy in the third, but overall, it's a W. It's a good W. They were down 8 with about 6 minutes left, maybe 5 minutes left. And at the end of the day, if you can come back and win those crunch time minutes, it's always a good win. Always a good win. A complete team victory. I have so many good things to say about the Cavs, Kwab, but I want to hear your opinion on the game.
I mean, to your point with Mobley, I think that's probably why he was getting those crazy comparisons, just because the potential of him to. You kind of saw a little bit of it when he was at USC and like his early years. Like, he has the ability to be like a really good two-way player and has some skills. And you saw some of it this game when he was able, like you said, that was an amazing play. In the context of the game, I didn't think the Bucks were gonna win this game when I saw Giannis was out with the
I think
abductor.
about that.
Yeah, I think everybody was like, okay, well, that's gonna be another loss. And it looked like it was gonna be a blowout until the Bucks were able to make a run. Like you said, in the third quarter, it seemed the Cavs got a little bit lazy. The funny part about the game that kind of it made me laugh was when I think the Cavs announcer was like, well, the Bucks are coming down the court. Cavs have to make a concerted effort to stop Dame Lillard and AJ Green. And I was like,
AJ was going off, bro.
And he was going.
AJ was not messing around.
Yeah, I mean, and these are the type of games where like you when you're looking at it, like the only way the Bucks have a chance to win is if Dame has a crazy game, which he has like the past 2 games, and also you need like a effort from somebody that's not really that notable or isn't like a starter or something. AJ Green came in, hit 7 threes. I think he was 7 for 9. They even got contributions from. Let me make sure I want to get this right. Andre Jackson came off the bench, hit 2 threes, and if you know Andre Jackson from UConn, really not his forte. So he was like 2 for 5. But overall, like it looked like the Bucks. To me, this game they looked like they played with a little more passion and aggression, especially in the third, which they haven't looked that way to start off the season.
Yeah.
Another funny thing I thought when they said Giannis was out, I'm like, oh, is this the future? Is this what the future Bucks are gonna look like with all the trade rumors that keep speculating? Like, but it like it ended up being a great game. It ended up being a great game. It was a great watch. Cavs still undefeated. They look great. The way Atkinson has them playing, it's amazing. One little tweak he has done that a couple of people have mentioned is that the way he uses the rotation with his subs. So a lot of times he would keep in Darius Garland and maybe Mobley and sub out Mitchell and Jared Allen, so that there's enough space with the big and guard, and then brings them 2 in and takes the other 2 out. And they're on a roll right now. I don't know what this means for them for the future. If they're currently the top team in the East,
Yeah.
do we personally think they're the best team in the East though? That's
I mean, it's still the Celtics, but I mean,
yeah,
I think it's fair to put them in the next tier, right? I mean,
yeah,
the general consensus is it's the Celtics and everybody else.
yeah,
But the everybody else going into the season was, well, you got New York, you got Philadelphia, Milwaukee, even though some people are like, I don't know if we should put Milwaukee in there or Philadelphia. But I do think, I mean, yeah, the Cavs are in there now. You start off 7-0, you beat the Bucks twice, you beat the Knicks, of course. Like, you were 100% in that tier, at least for now.
yeah.
You know, and Kenny Atkinson, man, it's so wild to me that it took him this long to get a head coaching job after what he did with your Nets.
He took his time. He took his time. He
Waited for the right situation.
The right situation. He
Just
took
chilled
his
out on the Golden
time.
State Warriors bench. Yeah,
He took his
time.
I mean,
But
I
mean,
think he was gonna be hired by the one time he was supposed to be hired by the Hornets. It was basically it sounded like it was a done deal. And the running joke was that he walked into the facility and looked around. Was like, nah, not this. not this.
Well, whatever it was, I'm glad Cleveland has him. I mean, even little things like they run extra actions off their pick and roll. Like, so
Yes.
typically, like with the Bucks, like if Giannis is in, it's like we'll run the pick and roll with Giannis, and Giannis will run to the hoop, and it's just that's what you have to guard. With Brook, it's like Dame and Brook pick and roll. You got to guard the pick and pop somehow or Dame. With the Cavs, it's not all the time, but it's Jared Allen's going to set a screen, or Max Strus is going to set a screen. Jared Allen is then going to back screen Max Strus after Max Strus sets the screen. And now you have to guard like Allen go to the hoop, Strus on a fade, and the guy Garland with the ball. And it's just like, it's chaos, but it's so well done. They don't do it every time. They did it a few times this game. And it's just like, man, like it's an extra wrinkle. And if it already takes three guys the whole team really, but three guys to read a pick and roll and to react to it right away, and then you have to rotate and everybody has to scramble. But the extra wrinkles that they're doing, like you really have to be communicating on defense. You have to be in sync on defense, or else someone's going to get open somehow. And to me, that's just seeing how they picked up the pace.
Yeah.
We've had a few episodes in the past where like the Cavs are the slowest paced team in the league.
Yeah.
We wish they would pick it up a little bit. You got Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Like, why aren't you running? Seeing Mobley in transition is like, why were they never running? It didn't make any sense.
Yes.
I mean, you've got shooters who can spot up too and get open threes. So, you know, they have picked up the pace. I'm not really sure what the pace is now or where they rank, but it definitely, eye tests seem like they're playing faster. And Jared Allen has a lefty hook now in the paint, like he's scoring here and there, like he can finish around the rim better. They're just a better team than they used to be. And it's impressive. It's 7-0. I mean, I remember last year they went on a huge winning streak too, and during that time, people were like me were like, yeah, but it's the Cavs. Like they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. And then they went 7 with the Orlando Magic, and they were handled pretty easily by the Celtics. But I think this year it could be different. You have a new coach. Evan Mobley seems to take a step forward, and they're winning games in the clutch. It looked like during this whole game, even when they were down by 8, I'm like, the Cavs are winning this game.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with Giannis being out. It was just like they're just a better team. So shout out to them. And you know, and I would transfer and start talking about the Bucks. The only thing I can really say is that I'm actually proud of their effort. Like they seemed to try hard. They wanted to win this game. Giannis being out going into this game, you're obviously an underdog. You're not expected to win this game. But I am impressed, and I am happy. If you're a Bucks fan, you got to be happy with the effort at least. I know that's like a very like low-hanging fruit type of thing to say, but at least they didn't quit. They went down like 18, 19 points. They didn't quit. They fought back. They found a way to claw back. There's really not much to say on the Bucks end for me. I'm going to be honest.
So I was gonna say, so it's not your hand is not on the panic button when it comes to the Bucks. So it's like it's not, especially.
Oh, I'm no panic button. I already hit the panic button. I'm through that. It's done. This team is done. God, you know what? Let me not say anything I want to take back because Chris Middleton hasn't been back yet.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I think he changes so much for them. Because if you were to be like, man, what is this team missing? I would describe Chris Middleton to you. So I do think that him coming back.
You'd say Thanasis. Let's be.
Then that maybe a close second. So I don't want to bury the Bucks yet.
Yeah.
But for what they are now without Middleton, like they're not better than the Cavs. I don't think they're better than the Knicks. I don't think they're better than the Celtics. I don't know what the Sixers look like. You know, to be determined. So I mean, even the Magic Magic don't have Paolo anymore. So, you know, I don't know. Pacers have their number. I think right now we can just put the Bucks to the side and say we'll talk when Middleton comes back.
True. I mean, but it's encouraging to see like Dame looking like he's returning to form in some of these past couple of games, because that's something you're gonna need. It's tough to watch them. Like their last game when they lost to the Cavs, and it was another close game, and it was a Donovan Mitchell buzzer beater. You had a great game from Dame, you had a great game from Giannis, and they still end up in the loss. Which is like, you're like, that's kind of crazy, but
Donovan Mitchell. And that's another thing about the Cavs. It's like you have players you can just give the ball to and like, go get a bucket. You have 3 people like that. You have Donovan, you have Darius when he's on. And to be fair to Darius Garland, he's always been on since he's healthy. I think a lot of flack that he gets is because he's been injured, and he's been playing injured most of his career.
Yeah.
And even like Mobley might be turning into that. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. Cavs might be a problem. We'll see. We'll see.
Like, I don't know, man. Nah, they, like I said, now everybody's kind of gonna start talking about them more. But coming into the season, I thought they were underrated just because of who they have. They have stars in their backcourt. They have a great front line, and now you can see a lot of the other pieces stepping in. Even the bench players making great like plays and such. Like even Ty Jerome is having a great year. Like, and he came out of nowhere. So again, like you said, Cavs are in we're always going to say that second tier, because it's going to be the Celtics and they're right there. So we'll see how it looks as the season progresses.
Yeah, they're the second best team in the East right now. Yeah. They're second best team in the East. They are. All right, that's going to do it for this reaction. Kwab and I will be doing a full episode equipped with power rankings, which the Cavs will be on there and will be pretty high, I'm sure of it. So stay tuned for that. We're also going to be reacting to games later on in the week, so stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Leave a comment. We like to interact with our fans, with the people who listen, as you see in the last full episode that we have. So until then, we'll see you next time for another episode of The Dime.